Welcome back to another episode of 747 Fishing. Today we are at the Koorana Crocodile Farm, located in Queensland, Australia, a perfect destination to learn everything about saltwater crocodiles and alligators. I leave the link in the description below. Now let our tour guide take over. From now on he has some cool facts about crocodiles and alligators.
Starting off, we have a few rules to go over. Everywhere else on the farm we have a double row of fences. You can see them here. Now as we walk out through this gate, alright, as you can see we only have the one fence. Now guys, this goes for everybody, big and small. Anything you stick through that fence is coming off. There are 7 crocodiles in this lake. Each and every one of them can jump high enough to get their heads above that fence line. And they know that anything that does go over that fence line, those are num-nums. Okay. On it. Now she is not bullying you, she is not teasing you, her job is not to make you feel bad. Her job is to make sure you have the manual dexterity to drive home later today. So please listen to her. If you feel a tap on your shoulder from either me or Lauren, that is your cue to step back. Okay? Because chances are, there's a good to fair chance that means there is something that is sneaking up towards you which you have not seen yet.
Speaking of which, look what just popped up right there.
There you go, sweetheart. Oh, they're not creepy, they're gorgeous.
Why don't they eat the seagulls? The seagulls do. The birds that go into there.
There you go. Now, really interesting stuff, folks. Because crocodiles are reptiles, they don't need to eat nearly as much food as we do to survive. We can only go about 2 or 3 weeks without a meal. They can go upwards of 2 or 3 years without food. Yeah, pretty impressive. Now the reason for that is because crocodiles are what we call ectotherms, or cold-blooded. It means they don't get energy from the food they eat, they get energy from the sun around them. Think of them kind of like a living solar battery. Alright, so they're much more efficient with food than we are. Alright, looks like Casanova's coming on up, so let's get him some chow. No, you're okay, you're okay. Come on!
Stay back.
Come on!
Stay back. Move back.
Come on!
We'll have a look. Move back. Whoa.
Come on! Up, 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 up. Now he's actually Rocky's son, that 5-meter kind of thing. The difference is sometimes male lions will go tail. In the water, they use that tail for movement, and that can shoot them forward at up to 30 kilometers an hour while they're in the wet stuff. Up on land, it's a big ball and chain, so it drags behind them. When they are still small, they can get up to like 16 or even 20 kilometers per hour. A big female like this is getting between about 10 to 16 at the absolute most, whereas a big male that is 4 or 5 meters in length, he's not getting faster than about 6 or 8 kilometers an hour. So you can easily outrun a big croc on land, and you can even outrun one of these smaller females. I know some of you may think you can't, but I promise you, that is 66 teeth worth of motivation. You can do anything. All right, now we have 7 crocodiles in this enclosure. Now, all but one of them is female. We have one male in here, and his name is Casanova. Okay? And he gets that name, there he is. He's popped up and he's coming towards us. And you will notice that he is much bigger than any other crocodile in here. Again, that is because he is a male, and females do not grow that large. Females do not get bigger than about 3.5 meters, whereas boys can get double or even triple that size. Okay, guys, just take a step back. Good. Anybody hungry? Kids, I'm not giving you salmonella.
I don't want roofing.
Come on, up there. Come on, sweetheart. Come on.
scary.
Guys,
One.
you guys hear that sound? So, crocodiles are actually very young, which means they are very fast, and they jump very quickly. There we go.
Hi! Hi! I'm not over the fence.
I can't do that.
Up here, come on! Up, 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 up.
Oh, mini crocodiles.
Well, that was silly.
Action.
Come on. Yeah, when they're small, they're very nimble. There she goes. Good girl.
He's so scared. He's just ridiculous.
Hey, look, I'm more nervous working with the little fellas than I am the big guys. Right? All right, we'll start over on this end. Now, very important. When we come up to hold Harley, this is how we do it. One hand underneath his butt, one hand underneath his chest and neck. Hold him at chest height. Do not put him close to your face. Okay? But otherwise, he's a pretty easygoing little crocodile.
Is that cute? Awesome. Here are the three different type of skulls. First freshwater croc, then saltwater crocodile, and then the alligator.
Oh, and Ty, they're absolutely adorable. Now, guys, believe it or not, while alligators and crocodiles may look very similar at first, they're actually very different. Their anatomy is very different. Their behavior is very different. They're very different in a lot of ways. The easiest way for me to show you just how different they are, though, is to actually go in there and give them a little bit of a cuddle.
Don't get bitten.
Do my
I
best.
have a feeling that they're not gonna attack.
Bella?
Yeah, because alligators are relatively calm.
Nah, he just doesn't care.
Mister? Excuse me, mister. What if a different person sat on them? Would they know the difference?
Well, put it this way. American alligators are adapted to hunt smaller game. Things like turtles, fish, raccoons, the occasional chihuahua here or there.
That's what I made.
Now, that means that a big animal like me is kind of either a threat or just otherwise not an ideal prey source. So alligators tend to ignore larger prey animals. Or, heck, if I was out in the wild, he would see me coming up on the riverbank, he would see how tall I am, how big I am, and he would be like, nah, and just jump in the water. Now, you guys aren't as big as me, which means you are a little bit closer to that chihuahua size they're going after, okay? So the thing is, while alligators are generally very docile, easygoing, for you guys, you kids, you should never ever go anywhere near an animal like this. It is not a good idea. And heck, most of you adults should never do it. I can only do what I'm doing with these guys because I know how to read their body language. I know what positioning, what body positioning I should be watching out for. I know what subtle, little quivers and sounds they make to let me know they're getting unhappy. And if they are getting unhappy, I'm gonna take a step back. Okay, if you're not very well versed with that, you should not be anywhere near an animal like this. Okay?
How do you hug it like that?
Oh, I'll tell you what, I'll give this one a hug.
How do you tell that the girls are boys?
They're both boys, isn't
Mister?
Yeah.
How do you tell that they're boys and girls?
Good question. Do you see how big they are?
Yeah.
That is only going to be a boy. Male crocodiles and alligators only get this big. Females won't even get about half this length.
Why have you got two male alligators in the one pen?
Good question. That's another big difference. While saltwater crocodiles are hyper-territorial and aggressive, even to each other, American alligators, not so much. Believe it or not, they're what we call a communal species. So as long as everybody is within about the same size category and there's no tiny little fella to pick on, they keep the peace. No one wants to run the risk of getting injured. So while they will participate in territorial behavior during the breeding season, if there's a lot of females to fight over, if they don't have anything to fight over,
There's no fight.
there's no fight. Exactly. And if they do have a disagreement, alligators are actually the most talkative of all crocodilians. So you heard our salties chatting to each other. Alligators can be 10 times as noisy as that, especially in the breeding season, because they'll make these very deep bellowing sounds, which you'll hear for kilometers away, right? And they use those sounds to communicate all the time.
So have you got female alligators here?
No, we're not allowed to breed them because they're not a native species. Trust me, we have enough invasive species on this continent. We do not need a cane toad problem that big.
Could I just grab the crocodile kebab, thanks, and just the can of Coke?
Make another kebab, Zara.
And you're enjoying your crocodile, Vanessa? At the Crocodile Farm. Big one over here. It's Duke and Gemma. Oh guys, look at that beast. It's Davey and Marshall family. Croc. Oh well guys, that's it from the Crocodile Farm. Absolutely worth the money. If you are somewhere in Queensland, then absolutely worth coming here and visiting it, eat some crocodile.